Oh, okay. So it was filming and I didn't know it. Um, so this is the third part, and this is, like I said before, this is kind of like the books and that are out there rather than media. So the first book that I found, and the first part books that I'm talking about are kind of geared towards children. So these are great for someone that has a child with OCD is reading a book, or also even as a teacher, reading it to your class to kind of bring awareness to what OCD is. And I think it's really important, though I think OCD is something that is pretty well known. Um, I think it's very important for kids to be kind of exposed to it so they understand it, and things that don't happen, like, oh, you see someone cleaning, oh, he's OCD, or, you know, she does this, she's OCD. So it's really becoming educating and educating your kids about really what is OCD. It's not just a joke. It's something that's not, I mean, I wouldn't say it's serious, but it's definitely an issue for people. And so to make a mockery of it, or just to pull it off as, oh, that's OCD, you're anal. I don't think that's appropriate, because I feel like you're downplaying the person and disability. And the fact that I will say, though, OCD becomes a part of the person, and people learn to live with it. Um, but it's hard. It's definitely hard. And just letting kids that do have OCD, letting them know that nothing's wrong with them. They just have like a glitch, and that's okay, because none of us are perfect. We all have little glitches, but for some, it's just more obvious. So the first book I want to talk about is Polly's Magic Games. It's about a little girl, and it's just a really cute story. It's probably more towards like kindergarten, and it just shows, going back, that OCD is just something. You know, it doesn't make you any better or worse. It's just another thing of life. And going back to the Shapiro readings, I think more and more, I think we're getting better as a society with this, is understanding that everyone has, like I said before, the glitches. You know, none of us are perfect. Like, I wear glasses, you know? So it's nothing that separates you from, like, oh, you have OCD and I am perfect. So this is, like I said, this is a really cute book that just exposes kids to the idea that OCD is a condition, but it's nothing like to be scared about. Um, the next one is, which I think is really cute, is called Mr. Worry. It's about a little boy. And this is definitely, if you want to go under the super critic, this is him. It is about a little boy who is the hero and is able to overcome all of his OCD challenges. And it takes you through his day, and it just shows, like, to a child, that it's something that you can overcome. So it's kind of an encouraging thing, and it definitely portrays him as like a hero. The next book is called Up and Down the Worry Hill, and this is kind of a neutral. It's not about a boy or a girl. The character in the story is called Casey, so it could be a boy or girl name. And it just talks to you. This is more for like third or fourth grade. And it just takes you through some of the rituals that someone that has OCD has, and it's just making it more familiar. And it then talks about how, if you see this picture, she's riding, or it is riding a bike. That with OCD there are up and downs. Like, there's days where your OCD is going to act up more than others, and things are going to be easier for you. So it's definitely just like life. I mean, someone with OCD has ups and downs. It's a life situation. So it's kind of lightening it and making it just more, I guess, acceptable, and just understanding that, you know, it's going to happen. Things will happen. Another thing is called A Thought is Just a Thought. A lot of things with OCD is, it's definitely a mental thing. It's a lot of thinking, and you're literally controlled by your thoughts, which is really hard to think about. Is because for us, you can turn off that, oh, okay, you know, forget it. But for someone that's OCD, that thought really never goes away, unless they get treatment. So this is about a little girl named Jenny, and it just takes you through her fears. Oh, hold on. I guess he'll join us. This is Mr. Noodle. Say hi, Mr. Noodle. Anyway, so this is about a little girl named Jenny, and it takes you through and gives you some of the fears that she goes through, and it just talks about how going through life is she learns how to rethink, and it again gives that idea that although it's difficult, you can get treatment and like ramp your thoughts, um, and it kind of it explains what the OCD is. Okay, now for more of the teacher adult audience, or even someone that has a student that has OCD, or they have a child that's OCD. The first book that I picked out was Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, and this is kind of just a really simple, gives the cause, the symptoms, and the fact that it's can be very terrifying for like a parent to find out, or even a teacher, that oh my gosh, like what does that mean? I have my son has OCD, and it just walks you through, and it just explains like what their think process is, what some of the things they might do. So it kind of just, if you want to say, waters it down for you, so it you can understand it a little bit better. So this is just an overall real quick, easy read, and it makes it things a little more familiar. Another one is The Brain Gets Stuck. This is geared towards, this is like a self-help kind of, it has like activities in it, and it's definitely great to do with kids because it has a lot of OCD tricks, and it gives you tools so that you are able to, that if you come to a situation and your OCD is working up, how to get around it. So it's great for kids that are in your room, you're teaching and something happens, like they're afraid of germs and someone sneezes. How do you handle that? Or even for a parent, how do you help your child, because they're not going to be in your house all day and you can't take care of them and worry about their OCD. They're going to have to go out into the world. So you need to teach your kids how to be advocates for themselves and how to take care of themselves and not let the OCD control them. So this is a great thing for parents and kids. This is a more towards adolescence, and the fact that showing a lot more of the treatment that's out there. And again, this goes back to the tools. And it's a workbook also that you can it's personalized towards you, that you can work through it. And it's definitely a great resource. And I think that's one of the things that I was going through this, is it's so awesome to see how many resources are out there for people, because I think people, and I talked to my mom the other day, when you have OCD, you think you're the only one out there. Like, you don't think anyone else understands you. So just by going online and seeing how many resources are out there, and realizing that there is so much out there to help you, I think it's really encouraging, because you don't feel like you're the only one. It gives you, other people struggle with this too, and there's a comfort when you know someone else understands you. The last, and this has been my godsend of the book, it's called Teaching Tiger. This is also towards ADD and Tourette's, and you'll quickly find out with OCD, and I had mentioned this before, it's a lot of the anxiety and the rituals which Tourette's has, and not being able to like control yourself almost. So this is a great, great, great book. I can't, if I work at a school and they had it, and I'm really thinking about purchasing it myself, because the thing that I loved about this is that it had tons of references. Not even just books, but like computer programs you can buy, has lesson plans, how to adapt lesson plans, what to expect with OCD, how to handle OCD in your classroom. So it is, I would recommend this towards any special education teacher, let alone any teacher, to, if not purchase, definitely flip through and get some great ideas, because this is something that you, not only would you use for someone that has like OCD or ADD, these are things that you can do throughout your classroom all the time, just as a better practice. So those are my resources. Um, I learned so much through this. Um, Again, I think the main factors that I depicted was that the fact that there are so many resources out there, and that um, understanding that it's a true condition. And I strongly stress that as teachers, you understand that, because it's hard for them. And my mom often says to me, I wish you could be in my brain. Like, because I don't even think they can explain what's going through their mind and their thought process. So these books are great resources, again, for kids, because it lets them see that they're not the only ones that are going through this, and it gives a lot of self-help and a lot of um, background knowledge of why people do the things they do. Um, Trying to think of anything else. I don't know. I just think the next time you see someone with OCD, try to be in their shoes for a second and just try, although OCD is something you can't see, it's not a physical thing, it's definitely a very mental thing. So if you, instead of mocking it and being like, oh, you're OCD, just take a second and try to think, to be in their shoes, how it would be to constantly have to worry about germs, or constantly have to do something over and over again. And I think if you just took a step back and just looked at it that way, you would realize how hard things are, and I think you would be a little more acceptable and able to tolerate the person a little bit better, because you are able to see them for who they are with a disability. So that is the end of my presentation. I have a walkthrough and I have a reference page, so feel free to look at that. And I hope this goes well, because technology has not been my best friend today. So, all right, thanks.